Welcome back, everyone. And today I have Chetan, who has recently cleared his FRM Part 1 in his first attempt. And today we're going to be talking about his journey to successfully passing his FRM Part 1 in his very first attempt. So, hi, Chetan. Welcome to this FRM conversation series. And it's a pleasure to have you here.
Hi, Jess. Thank you so much for having me over here. Uh,
So,
okay,
okay, why did you choose FRM?
before I start about my FRM journey, I will give you a brief
Mhm.
background about in doing throughout my career and why appearing for it. So currently working as a vice president, as a product manager in a American bank, and as a part of my role, work very closely with the front office. It could be a sales trader or a quant and even external clients. So I have a good
Right.
understanding of different asset classes in the market and even what happens in the sales and the trading space. Now, I have been working in this industry for almost 13 to 14 years now. Now,
All right.
after a certain stage, like in terms of a growth in your career, there could be a stagnation. Now, you need to if you do some kind of a certifications, or it could be an MBA degree for us at a maybe an executive MBA, so that we can progress towards the next step in my career.
Right.
That's what I was analyzing for the last few years, and after doing a lot of research, I came across FRM. Now, what differentiates FRM from other courses is the one curriculum talks in detail about the fixed income, credit products, and even the quants, like which I think most of the engineers would not have even gone through when they were doing their degree. So, and
Right.
even the main focus
Mhm.
is on you get an deep understanding about the different risk. And when you go to a senior level within any multinational firm, risk plays quite a critical role. And
Mhm.
if you understanding about the risk, you can even have a conversation with very senior MDs in a bank. So so that's why I thought, okay, FRM for me
Right.
this makes sense. So that's how I start my FRM journey.
Okay. So, how did you manage your work and your study commitments? I mean, you've been working and studying at the same time. So, how did you manage that?
Okay, I think for me, like preparing for any major exam after almost like 12, 13 years. So yes, a lot of dedication was required, and
Right.
even at the same time, and even I have a little one who keeps on bothering me all the time. So what
Right.
I ensure is like firstly the weekends are the most critical part. So you need to ensure you're
Mhm.
spending 12 hours every weekend. Like Saturday, Sunday, if you take like 12 hours each
Right.
day, it's only 24 hours on a weekend. And even if you think about a whole month, you're
Right.
close to 100 hours. On top of that, like whenever it's almost 3 hours commute for me, like to and fro. So I used to any
Mhm.
easy, like let's say if I take an example, derivatives, it's quite easy. So I used to read those kind of topics, or maybe entire book one. I come and during uh,
Oh.
the time to the exam, I took almost like 2 weeks of holidays from my office, and at that time I was completely
Mhm.
focused on the exam and ensuring I'm putting almost 12 to 14 hours a day, because whatever I have done for the last 4 months be fruitful unless I put in the effort in the last 2 weeks. So the way I prepared for my exam was that, okay, irrespective of how tough or how easy the exam is, I want to clear that. So that's why I was spending a lot of effort and I didn't miss any topic.
What study materials that you used primarily for the FRM Part 1? The question banks, the video lectures, and the mock exams, and so on and so forth.
Like the main material in terms of book is what material, and on top of it, like just you provided your videos and question bank. I think if there was any topic which wasn't covered in Shezwar, it was covered in your videos. So thankfully, we have that covered in your videos. So I was able to attempt those
Right.
quite successfully. And on top of that, like for me personally, the goal was not to just to go through the Shazwar books. It was more to develop a deep understanding about each product. I think for which Jazz you helped us a lot. Like there were different topics which were quite confusing, and you helped us to develop a good understanding. If I take an example of interest rate future, like on top of it, like you will say it's quite easy topic, but if you deep down inside like what forward rate future is, what treasury future is, you need to have a good understanding about the product itself. So for which I think the
Right.
videos were quite helpful. And what I would suggest to everyone, not just think from an exam perspective. Yeah, the end goal is to clear the exam, but at the end of the day, you need to have understanding about the product also.
Right. That is also crucially important. You need to understand the material, because that's what I always emphasize, that understand the material and then you would be able to answer almost every questions on the exam, right? I mean, effectively, you'll be able to appreciate the exam content.
Correct.
Okay.
Like I think if we think about the videos which Jas you have provided, and the question banks and the mock exams. See, what I was doing in mock exam is I was even telling Jazz also, I'm able to wrap up the exam in 3 hours only. Like, is it like we have the mock
Right.
too easy, or like then Jazz, the actual exam will be even more easy. And to be honest, just because of preparation which I have done over the last 4-5 months, just because of that, the day of the exam wasn't a great day personally for me. But at the end, the preparation
Okay.
which then made a difference.
So how was your exam day experience?
Like the exam day, like overall, when I entered the examination, I was quite nervous, to be honest, since I was giving an major exam after quite a long time. And it took me some time to cool down my nerves. And on top of it, like there was noise. Like there were some other students preparing for other exams. And if I compare it, when I was giving the mock exam at home, it was all quiet. So my concentration level at home was much more, I would say 100% more than the examination center. And since when preparing for mock exams, I was targeting to complete the mock within 3.5 hours. During the exam day, like for the first 30-40 minutes, I wasn't able to solve too many questions. But since I was able to gather that while appearing for the mock exams at home, I was still able to complete all the 100 questions. So just keep in mind, when you appear for a mock exam at home versus mock exam at the center, it's completely different ball game altogether. So whatever you're scoring in the mock exam at home and versus the mock exam at the center, the scores could be quite different. It could on the exam day, it could be even less if the difficulty level is same. So ensure, just one tip, if you can wrap the mock exam within 3.5 hours during preparation, that's the best bit. So that you have ample 30 minutes on the exam.
Right. So that you can actually manage the stress and the anxiety levels for the actual exam day. And what do you think about the crash course? Was it really helpful?
I think the crash course is the only reason I enrolled for the course. Like I saw one of your videos for the quant material on YouTube, and like quant,
Right.
like when the shares where it wasn't making much sense to me, especially the hypothesis. And after looking at the videos, like you made it so simple, even a layman can understand what hypothesis testing is all about. So I think a crash course is a great way if somebody doesn't have enough time to prepare. And I think just by doing the crash course itself, they stand a good chance to clear the exam. Because at the end, if you think about whatever the crash course, I think 20 hours, I think it's a crash course. If you read all that material multiple, you still a good chance to clear the exam.
And Also, within talking about this, initially you had a lot of fear about quantitative analysis. So I see that a lot of students come across their major pain point is quants. So how did you manage quants and effectively passing through this particular thing?
I think it's just by going through the material, like if I break it down, like first the major part is the hypothesis testing, and then there were few machine learning chapters also which were introduced by FRM. Like hypothesis testing, if your fundamentals are clear, I think almost 7 to 8 chapters would be done, because everything in linear regression,
Right.
multiple regression is all linked to hypothesis. So I would say just focus on hypothesis.
Correct.
Like 50% of the quants is done. Then another 25% is
Right.
probable. Now, probability, like if you practice Shazwa question, it's quite easy to be honest. Like personally, during the exam day, I was stuck with probability question, and at the end, I had to move on rather than wasting too much time. So just go through
Right.
the think. If you get 4 questions easily, two you would be able to manage. For rest two, it all depends. Like sometimes you can get those right, and sometimes you just on machine learning. I know it's a pain point for few students, but it's a scoring topic. Okay, if you read each every
Absolutely.
test work, I think I got around 4 questions in machine learning. You can easily manage that because you know, okay, this is the answer. You don't even need to twice, and you can even do the question in less than 30 seconds.
Okay. So, what is the one quality or skill that you feel that is going to be important apart from the FRM? What is all the aspiring FRM candidates they should have? And what is the one quality or skill that you feel is important?
I think curiosity, what's happening around in your space, that's quite important. Like I think everyone who is appearing for FRM, the end goal to move into the financial side. And if you have the curiosity, like what's happening in the market day in, day out, and how the economics and how the markets are behaving, and you try to learn more about that, in the long term, you will be quite successful.
Right.
I still see a lot of people who are there,
Okay.
work quite a long time, they don't understand the business. Okay. So if somebody understand the business, they are quite crucial for any firm. So
Okay. Fair enough. What is one advice that you would give out to all the aspiring FRM candidates who want to pursue probably and who will be pursuing in the future?
uh, it's a very good course. Okay. It will help you to develop a good understanding about all the asset classes in the market, and on top of it, about the risk space also. If anyone is like studying right now, or maybe at an early stage of your career, if you do this course right now, the understanding which you develop about the markets will be much better than somebody with a 25 years of experience. The main thing is not just reading the
Right.
curriculum, but
Okay.
applying. That will make a difference. So for me personally, after doing this curriculum, I think my knowledge has increased a lot. I now I understand the micro and the economics quite well. And even if I want to have a conversation with a very senior MD on the trading side, I can pull out that conversation since I understand market space now. So I think just keep on learning and ensure like whatever you are learning is just not for clearing the exams. Like try to develop a deep understanding about the product also.
Okay, so thank you so much, Chetan, for joining in this particular FRM conversation and sharing the tips and tricks for someone who's the aspiring FRM candidate. So it was fantastic to have you here, and thank you so much for taking your time out today.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.